What Jeff Bezos' first job at McDonald's taught him. Even as a child, Amazon CEO and self-made billionaire Jeff Bezos stood out. His mother Jacqueline, who became pregnant with Bezos when she was 17, recalls his fascination with figuring out how machines and toys worked. She said, "I knew early on that he was wired a little bit differently." She then added, "When he tried to take his crib apart with a screwdriver, I think that clinched it." So when 16-year-old Jeff got a summer job frying up burgers at McDonald's in 1980, he learned all he could from the experience. Talking about the experience to Fast Company, "I was a cook," Jeff then joked. "They wouldn't let me anywhere near the customers. This was my acne teenager stage. They were like, why don't you work in the back?" Talking to Cody Teets, author of Golden Opportunity, Remarkable Careers That Began at McDonald's, Bezos claimed that the most difficult thing for him as a grill man was keeping everything going at the right pace during a rush. According to Wired, the experience was Bezos' first hands-on experience with retail, and he spent the summer studying the company's automation improvements, such as beeps and signals for when to scramble his eggs, flip his burgers, and pull his fries out of the boiling vat. The job also gave him early insight into customer service. He told Fast Company, "I learned that it's really hard." Today, customer obsession is the first one of Amazon's leadership principles. And decades later, fans were ecstatic to see Amazon founder and billionaire Jeff Bezos pay tribute to his first paid job recently when he posted a photo of himself on Twitter chowing down on a McDonald's burger. He tweeted, "My first job, and still the same great burger. Happy Sunday." You see, Bezos wasn't explicitly born into wealth. His mother was 17 years old, and his father was 18 years old when he was born. They used their parents' money to fly to Mexico to marry before Jeff was born. His father was a low-income man who worked for less than $1 an hour in a retail store. He also preferred to spend his meager funds on alcohol and unicycle troop supplies. Unfortunately, Bezos' mother divorced his father when he was 17 months old, when she was a senior in high school. Fortunately, Bezos and his mother were raised by his grandparents on their ranch in New Mexico. His grandfather had to fight for his mother's right to continue her education. While his mother finished high school and college, Bezos lived with his grandparents. Many people believe that living with your grandparents means you have it easy, but Bezos did not. Bezos credits his grandfather for instilling a strong work ethic in him. Jeff Bezos' mother met his stepfather Miguel when he was 4 years old. His stepfather immigrated to the United States from Cuba at the age of 16 and did not speak English. Miguel Bezos learned English quick enough to attend the same university as Jeff's mother. Miguel Bezos adopted Jeff when he and his mother married. Jeff Bezos was inspired by his stepfather's struggles to persevere even when things became difficult. Bezos' family has always been a driving force in his life. He appreciates the strong people in his life, including his mother, stepfather, and grandfather. After growing up in New Mexico, Jeff Bezos decided to attend Princeton University, which he considered to be the best university in the country. Princeton awarded him degrees in computer science and electrical engineering. He turned down jobs from Intel and Bell Labs after graduation to join a startup called Fitel. Later, he and Halsey Minor, the founder of CNET, co-founded a news by fax service. After that failed venture, Bezos rose through the ranks of D.E. Shaw, becoming the firm's youngest senior vice president in just 4 years. If Bezos hadn't been captivated by the fact that the internet was growing at a rate of 2,300% per year by 1994, he might have stayed on Wall Street for the rest of his career. Soon after, he had the idea for Amazon, and the future CEO began generating a list of 20 potential product categories to sell online. Amazon.com, which was then a book-selling platform, started in a garage with a potbelly stove. Bezos, who put $10,000 into the company with his wife and 2 programmers, held most of his meetings at the local Barnes & Noble. In its first month of operation, July 1995, Amazon sold books in every state in the United States and 45 countries around the world. During Amazon's first year, Bezos attempted to raise funds by predicting $74 million in sales by 2000, far underestimating the reality: $1.64 billion in sales in 1999 alone. After depleting his family's investments, primarily his parents, who contributed a significant portion of their life savings, he was able to raise $1 million in seed funding from angel investors. Amazon's first 20 investors each contributed around $50,000 for a 1% stake. Given that the investors' stakes were never diluted by subsequent investors, each investment is now worth approximately $16.71 billion, representing a 334,200 times in return. In June 1996, Amazon received an additional $8 million in Series A funding from venture capital firm Kleiner Perkins. Bezos also paid $250 million for the Washington Post in August 2013. After a few years, its audience and traffic exploded, and in October 2015, it surpassed the New York Times for the first time in terms of US unique web viewers. Despite losing the title of richest man on Earth to Elon Musk in 2021, Bezos remains the world's third richest person and the only other person with a net worth of around $140 billion. It's also worth noting that unrealized assets account for the vast majority of both men's fortunes. As a result, it's entirely possible that Bezos' fortune will one day eclipse Musk's.